Well, hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today, I'm at Lulu Country Club, Upper Dublin Township in Montgomery County. And coming up on today's show, we're going to continue in our look at how certain clubs and professionals got ready for the restart of golf in the wake of the restrictions imposed thanks to COVID-19. A couple of local pros are going to tell us about how they got the restart going at their clubs, what kind of feedback they got from their members. And we're here at Lulu, of course, to talk to John Rusk. He's the general manager of Lulu. You talk about a place that's been through a lot of hard times. John, resilient as he is, and his staff here at Lulu have managed to jump over another hurdle and gotten through an obstacle, another one, to get golf going and people enjoying the game that they love at Lulu Country Club. So, a couple pros and John Rusk talking about the recovery and the return of golf in the tri-state area. Next, here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf has always provided the health benefits of fresh air, focus, and fun. Now let's apply social distancing to the game we love.
Stay home if sick and always stay 6 feet apart and avoid large gatherings on the course.
Try thumbs ups or fist pumps, not handshakes or fist bumps.
When in doubt, just don't touch and wash your hands.
Mark your ball clearly and wear a cloth facial covering when taking a lesson.
Finally, respect your fellow golfers and let's be grateful for every swing.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues now as we talk to a couple guys that I guess you could say have been on the front lines of golf's restart in the tri-state area. One of them is the head pro and owner of a club, and the other one is the head professional. They had their work cut out for them, but so far, things have been rather smooth.
America joining us right now from Bitterman outside of Wilmington. We have Anthony Malizia from up around the Limerick area, Linfield National. Robert Kleckner is back with us. And from up in the mountains in the Stroudsburg area of Pennsylvania, in the Poconos, Dustin McCormick. He's the head professional at Glenbrook. Gentlemen, first of all, thanks for taking time out. No doubt a busy part of your schedule here, interrupted a little bit to talk about what's been going on since everybody got the green light and the ability to play golf again, be it in Delaware or here in Pennsylvania. Let's start out with Anthony. Anthony, since you got the okay to have your members down at Bitterman start playing again, how's it gone over the last couple weeks or so?
Yeah, thanks, Harry. Good morning. Everything's been going really well for us. We've enabled members to come out and play in member groups, starting times only, which is a little bit of a culture change for us. Right now, we have single riding cart use. Same household can ride in the same golf cart, but it's just good to see members coming back onto property.
Robert, I guess it's a similar experience for you as well up at Linfield National, but has there been any, shall I say, glitches or anything like that? Are all the members pretty much adhering to social distancing and things like that?
Well, we started preparing. We closed on March 14th, and we started preparing on March 15th. So through our alliance, all the associations in Pennsylvania, we were really well prepared, and people are super complimentary and confident when they come here to Linfield. So you're always going to have ebbs and flows because Governor Wolf did make some changes after he opened on May 1st for PA about from single car riders to family and people that live together. So we're always making changes daily.
And Dustin, how about for you? Have you seen a lot of familiar faces? Any new faces since golf was allowed again?
Yeah, we've had a combination of both. We have about 180 members up here, and they've been awesome. I mean, completely supportive of everything we're asking them to do. Most people are just excited to golf because they've been sitting at home for 40 plus days. But we've had a large influx. Was a big concern from New Jersey and New York up here because we're right off Interstate 80, and with those being ultimate hotspots of this whole situation, it was one of our big concerns. And we were actually concerned. We thought about going PA residents only, but we're a public park, so we can't do that. So they've been great. Everybody that's come to Glenbrook has been phenomenal. We haven't had any run-ins with anybody not following all the requested protocols just because everybody's happy to be outside.
Now, down in Delaware, Anthony, you do have Delaware residents only. I know you have some Pennsylvania members normally, so they're excluded in terms of getting back to play, at least at Bitterman. I guess that was a tough phone call or a decision to make for the management at Bitterman.
It was. It's a very unique time, very unique situations, and every state is handling this situation differently. For us, yeah, those phone calls were a little hard to make, but we're fortunate our membership gets it, and they know it's not our decision, and everyone has to do their part. So it's gone as well as it possibly could, given the situation.
Robert, when you look at what the restrictions imposed now are, and going forward, hopefully sooner, not later, we're going to see everything open up and get as close to what was before all this happened as possible. Are there any leftover restrictions maybe that people would like, or are you just glad to get over this phase and get back to what it used to be? For instance, I know twosomes in New Jersey are only allowed, not foursomes. And from a speed, pace of play standpoint, it certainly makes a difference. I know you can't do that maybe for a whole day, but do you think if some people would probably enjoy like an hour a day, have only twosomes just to keep the pace of play going, something like that, or any other restrictions are imposed, Robert, do you think maybe they'll be adopted full time? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of silver linings to this with the way all the courses have adopted. Some courses have put an hour walking from 11 to 12 to kind of relieve some of the pressure of the golf carts. Love having no bunker rakes on the golf course. I love having no water coolers on the golf course. These might be standard things after everything lifts. I feel real confident, as you know, some of my other colleagues, people just love to get outside, and everyone's in a great mood. So there are going to be some changes, but it's pretty cool what's going on right now. And 98% of people are just super excited just to come here. Maybe 99%.
Absolutely. I'll open it up to Dustin, and then Anthony after Dustin. Dustin, pick up where Robert left off a little bit, or kind of support what he said about some of those ideas maybe being put into play once everything really opens up.
Yeah, we have a lot of the similar stuff going on because we have a limited cart availability. So we have that same window from about 10:45 to noon has been walking only, and I think it's a good thing. I think that, like Rob was talking about the water coolers, we actually did that like a year ago. It's been one of the greatest things we ever did. So there are things that are going to stick, and I think there are things that are very, very good moving forward that we can do to, prolong. I think some of the stuff has to go back to, I think, like going back to a cart. I've seen cart, liners and enclosures, things that'll, separate people. There's a beauty to the interaction of golf that some of that is kind of lost right now. But I'm hoping some of that comes back. But we've been fortunate, like pace of play has been great. Everybody's been doing their part. There's been things, because we're on the foursome side. We don't have limitations with twosomes or anything like that. And so far, it's been very, very good.
I appreciate the time you have spent with us today. And I know you're busy, as everybody, like you said, 99% of the people are just happy to be out there playing the game that they love. Anthony Malizia, Robert Kleckner, and Dustin McCormick. Gentlemen, thank you. Have a great golf season. It's going to get better.
You too.
And we'll
thanks.
be back.
Thanks, Harry.
Inside Golf.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Lulu Country Club. We're going to talk to John Rusk, the general manager at Lulu, to see how things are going for Lulu in Upper Dublin Township of Montgomery County. Next on Inside Golf.
We've added probably about 20, let's say, public golf.
Welcome back. Inside Golf Now is at Lulu Country Club as we're taking a look at how Lulu has pushed the reset button in more ways than one, because of course Lulu went through that tragic fire a few years back, rebuilt a spectacular clubhouse. We were here to see a little bit of that with some of our teed off tapings, and lo and behold, along came the virus. But on a beautiful day like this, plenty of golfers, parking lot is full. John Russ, the general manager, you're a happy guy.
We're glad to be open again.
How about it?
We've burned the place down. We flooded it. We've got the virus, but we're still here. And like I was telling you earlier off camera, we've added 35 members in 2 weeks. We're excited about the new Lulu Country Club here.
Yeah, they ought to call this the Resilient Club. You've been through a lot of things, John, over the past few years. You talk about new membership. I guess you've benefited in some ways from here in Montgomery County. A number of public municipal courses closed down. And that's happened over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we've added probably about 20, let's say, public golfers that used to play, whether it was Lime Kiln or Twining or Center Square. They needed a place to go, so they've come here over the last 6 months. That's helped us. This COVID-19, I hate saying it, but it's helped us. A lot of people are looking to golf because they have nothing else to do, so they're coming out and playing golf and then joining the club.
Yeah, we're here doing this interview on a Wednesday afternoon in May, and like I said, the parking lot is full. Your tee times are booked from when to when?
7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night.
All right, everything's done online?
Every tee time's done online. The customers are allowed to show up 20 minutes before they tee off. They play golf, they have their fun, they social distance. When they're done, they get in their car and they do go home.
Right.
But it's the way.
And hopefully they'll be back tomorrow.
They'll be back we're booked through the weekend again, and we're very fortunate with what's going on.
How about the golf course, John? You had a mild winter, and your superintendent didn't know back in December, January, what was going to happen once March hit. So they were hoping for the best. The weather cooperated, and it looks like the golf course is in great shape.
I've been here since 2012. It's the best I've ever seen it. Chris, our superintendent, he had to reset his schedule a little bit. He was ready to open for opening day, early April. Obviously, nobody started till May, so he had to adjust his chemical schedule, everything like that. But we're up and running, and he's happy, and we're happy.
Right. Now, how does this, shall we say, not a lockdown, but what's going on with the guidelines that you got from the Commonwealth, how does that affect things like maybe tournaments? I know outings you can't hold anymore.
Outings is a big thing. Outings is a big revenue generator for clubs. Obviously, we're not going to be doing outings anytime in the future with Governor Wolf's orders here. We've had to rent another 24 golf carts so everybody can have their own golf cart. So we went from 65 to 89 golf carts. We bought another 20 pool carts for our members. So now we have 32 pool carts. So you've got to give a customer the opportunity to have their own golf cart or their own pool cart or push cart.
Right. You talked about how people want to get out of here. I mean, they were pent up. Now, once the green light was given a couple weeks ago, here they are. You're like a shot in the arm for them if it's only for 4 hours.
My wife's been stuck at home with the kids every day. She might take up golf just so she can get out of the house. People are pent up. Some parks are closed. Golf is a great outlet right now to get out of the house, get some exercise, get fresh air. So, like I said, golfers are respecting the rules, they're following the rules, and they're out here spending their 4 hours and having a good time.
Exactly. Something else that Lulu Country Club has been involved with now in the wake of this virus is what you're calling the Lulu family foundation?
Yes, sir. So when things started going bad is the staff and the members came together and people were losing their jobs. The food banks are going empty. So our membership started donating money. We came up with roughly $25,000. And so far what we've done in about 3 weeks is there's a food bank right up here, North Hills Community Center. We took a Cisco truck, we backed a Cisco truck right up to that food bank. It stinks for a lot of people, so Lulu's trying to do their part to help the community as much as we can.
We talked about how events got canceled because of the virus. One event that you were supposed to play in got canceled. Now, John's a pretty good player, okay? Played a lot of college golf and was a pro for a while, back to your amateur status. You and one of your members here, good friend of mine, by the way, Jimmy Sullivan, good player in his own right, had qualified for the U.S. National Four-Ball, a USGA event, and it was going to be played right down the road at Philly Cricket. And unfortunately, it got canceled. You and Sully were going to make a name for yourself.
Well, we were going to win the tournament, let's be honest. Okay, we had the trophies picked out, we had our speeches done. We get a virus from China that comes over, it wrecked our amateur careers. So we're going back into retirement, we decided.
Well, there's always next year, right?
Yeah, we're no good. We don't go out west. We're local boys.
Okay.
All right, we're
John, good luck as always. You've done a masterful job, as I said, putting up with one obstacle after another, going back, what, 4 years now?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time and a lot of different obstacles. And each time one pops up, John and his staff here are able to jump over, around, or through. And here we are, sold out on the tee sheet. Parking lot is full at Lulu. Have a great golf season.
I appreciate it, Harry. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
All right, stay with us. More to come on Inside Golf. Next up, we're going to our teed off panel.
Welcome back. Inside Golf now continues with Teed Off on our panel today. Here on a virtual edition of Teed Off includes Joe Logan. Joe, longtime man he's the founder of it. He's the guy, myphillygolf.com. Everything you want to know about golf in Philadelphia, you can get from Joe Logan at myphillygolf.com. Oscar Mestri, he is the vice president of the Golf Association of Philadelphia and a member at Overbrook. And Matt Fry is with us. Matt is director of communications for the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America. All right, this is one of my favorite topics on Teed Off, and I know it's a favorite too of a couple of you guys. Namely, we get the chance to kind of spout off and talk about maybe something that we don't like about the game. We all love the game, but even once in a while, some things happen that cause us to say, gee, that's not right. So I'm going to lead off with a spout off from none other than Joe Logan. Joe, what do you got for us today?
Well, normally I would complain and moan and all that, but I'm trying to look at this and find positives in all of this. And the positives I see is that it has taken a pandemic to get us to walk more on the golf course. Having people ride one to a cart. Most clubs or courses don't even have enough carts to go around like that. So it's forcing people to walk who might not walk, me included. And that's a good thing. Walking is good. Putting the flag, leaving it in, I think that is now forever gone. And the other thing, someone you mentioned me the other day I hadn't thought of is rakes. All the rakes are gone from all the golf courses, and I don't miss them. I don't miss them at all. This comes back. I don't mind if you just sort of rake it over with your shoe and move on instead of these perfect, pristine raking things we had. So I don't know. I'm trying to find positives out of this whole thing.
There you go. There you go. Silver linings from Joe Logan. How about you, Oscar? You got anything you can add? Maybe you can pick up on what Joe led off with there.
Well, I can pick up the fact that Joe never hits it in a bunker, apparently. I mean,
I wear sandals. What do you mean?
he is that good. I get it. You should be proud of that, Joe. Fantastic. One of my spout offs, which is not and now I'm going to revert to my negative side, is that for those of us who like hitting balls and practicing, obviously that's not in our immediate future, But at a limited space range like Overbrook, the divoting pattern is very, very important. So when you see people who come and hit balls, and they take something like, 2 yards to take their 20 divots, there's nowhere else for anybody else to practice. I know
Right.
the PGA section and golf superintendents are trying to encourage you to take a divot pattern, either a rectangle or a straight line of divots, so that we can heal the grass and be able to practice. So that, again, it's just a pet peeve for those of us that have been able to find time to practice when we can't find time to play. So if we could come out of this pandemic when we start to practice in considered patterns for others, man, I'd be a happy camper.
Good point. How about it, Matt?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna piggyback off of both these gentlemen. So Oscar brings up a good point about the divots. I saw something on Twitter the other day about just because you can't touch the flagstick doesn't mean you can't touch your ball mark repair tool. So that's another thing. You see that on every type of golf course, not just the public golf courses, but private golf courses suffer from it too. People not repairing the ball marks. It is perfectly safe to touch your own ball mark repair tool. So I hope people continue to fix ball marks and maybe fix other ball marks that they did not create while they're on the green.
I remember going, I don't know, maybe clubs still do it, where members would be assigned specific holes. And every time they played, maybe you had 5 members. And now they didn't have to be playing together, but it was always, say, like the 4 of us, we would all be assigned the second holes. Anytime we played the second hole, we would particularly look to fill or repair ball marks that weren't ours, okay, in addition to our own. And I don't see that much anymore, or at least I haven't heard about it, but it's maybe something that needs to be brought back with more people getting involved. Go ahead, finish your thought there, Matt.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this whole situation has kind of shown members of clubs and the public the importance of staff and your PGA professionals and the volunteer boards at clubs. They've done a lot during this pandemic just to get golf back up and running again. So I really hope that goodwill continues after we're back to the quote unquote new normal.
Right. I'm going to finish up here on Spout Off by giving a positive shout out, really, not a spout off, to the superintendents and their staffs in the section around the Philly area, New Jersey, Delaware, where I have been. They had an advantage, I guess, of having a relatively mild winter. Some previous winters, there was a lot of storms and snow and ice and everything else. But even so, they have really taken advantage of the lockdown. And when golfers went out a few weeks ago to play for the first time, courses, for the most part, I think were in pretty much tip-top shape. And I know superintendents and their staffs come under a lot of criticisms. They may not always hear it directly, but indirectly. But this time, at least from us here, I think, a tip of the golf visor or whatever to superintendents for doing a great job. They were ready, I think, Oscar, when the bell rang. At least that's been my experience. I'm sure it was yours or what you've heard too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I think while we're giving off kudos and congratulations, I mean, I think that everybody who was involved with the Pennsylvania Golf Alliance, Pennsylvania Alliance for Golf, I mean, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into, diplomatically and correctly, furthering the cause of the amateur and professional golfer. So, I know the PGA section was involved, and along with Mark Peterson and West Penn and and the Superintendents Association. So, a lot of people came together for the common good, and hopefully we continue to work together. I think that benefits everybody.
Amen to that. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And we'll be back. More on Inside Golf coming up in just a moment.
It's an uneasy feeling to have our worlds grind to a halt. All across Montgomery County, from Ambler to Pottstown, Lansdale to Norristown, and everywhere in between. To not visit the places that fill our lives. To see empty parking lots, closed parks, and once bustling streets now quiet. But the signs you'll pass in the windows remind us what we're doing this for. To strengthen our community, we stand together by staying apart and pick each other up. Although we have to pause travel right now, nothing will ever stop the powerful way travel changes us. And like our heroes of the past and our heroes of the present, we'll rise again, we'll fly again, we'll stay and play and thrive again. Because we're Montco strong, and we'll get through this together.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Hope you got a little bit of an insight as to what went into preparing clubs in the tri-state area to get back on the golf course, and in particular, what John Rusk did here at Lulu Country Club. And we'll be back with a look at everything that's new about Lulu. We told you about the clubhouse. They made some additions or changes, renovations, whatever, on the golf course. It's going to be something I think you will enjoy. And we'll also have more from our Teed Off panel next week. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up, especially now. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.